Part 2 of Starship Discovery's Terra Firma episode is now here. This week we're getting a conclusion to last week's surprising yet entertaining story. Let's dive in and see how it went down for our weekly review. Hello everyone, my name is Captain Jack and welcome to Trek Central. Terra Firma Part 2, like last week's Part 1, is written by Bo-yeon Kim, Erica Lindepol and Anna McElroy, yet this time has a different director. Chloe Dumont, who directs this second part of the story, and I have to say, they do a fantastic job at further pushing the story and wrapping it up in a very nice way. So, let's check out what we have to work with. Don't forget, if you are new around here, then you can hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from a team here at Trek Central. We're also on social media, so you can follow us for the latest news, lore, and more via the links in the video description. Spoiler warning, we're going straight into this episode, so if you've not watched it, turn away now. After last week's thrilling surprise of the Terran Empire, we're back in a mirror universe once again with Phillipa Georgiou, as she's attempting to change her own fate, but also the fate of the Empire itself. This episode shows that she's not successful, as the outcome is the same, she still ends up killing her daughter via trying to protect her. I have to first focus on Lorea. He was a prime focus in this episode as he was mentioned in part 1. Sadly, we did not see Jason Isaacs return as Mirror or Prime Lorea, which was a shame. But when you view this entire story, there would not have really been enough room for him to fit in and actually make an impact to the story as a whole. It's mentioned in part 2 that Mirror Lorea is off recruiting allies for his cause. This would align with what we've learned about him in season 1, and I have a feeling it relates to Pryor's world. Given we also learn that Lorea has the codename or alias as Vicar, which would link to Pryor's world. For myself, who is interested in the character of Lorea, as I wish Jason Isaacs would come back to portray him, this extra bit of lore and information would benefit greatly to develop his story further. Given we had no appearance of him, or the resolution of the Mirror and Prime Lorea crisis, it would make sense that Phillipa might encounter him in the upcoming Section 31 show. Yes, her time in the Mirror universe here was an illusion of sorts created by the Guardian of Forever, but it does strike me as odd as why the writers would take a more concrete point of mentioning adding bits to Lorea's story. Yes, it's world building and character development, but it would not surprise me if it wasn't something else down the line. Either way, I don't think we've seen or heard the last of Gabriel Lorea in the Star Trek universe. We'll have to wait for more developments, hopefully in the upcoming Section 31 show. The Guardian of Forever reveal is something we've been speculating about for a few weeks now, as a means of how Georgiou will travel back to the 23rd century for her Section 31 series. Last week, I wasn't 100% sure, but this week with reveal I'm glad part of me stuck with the idea of Carl being the Guardian. The reveal was fantastic. Having just watched the original series episode, The City on the Edge of Forever, hearing the Guardian's booming and loud voice as it revealed itself to Commander Burnham Georgiou was a pleasant yet welcoming surprise. After the episode ending, I just found myself going back and watching this reveal, and even though we knew it was coming, it was still amazing to see. I've also got to comment on the modern version of the Guardian. Obviously graphics and CGI have improved over 50 years, obviously, so naturally the looks and visual design of the Guardian would have improved. It's clean and an efficient design that makes a lot of sense, but do let me know what you think of it in the comment section below. Now obviously it would have been nice to see images flash by in the Guardian's portal as we saw in the original series episode, instead of a time vortex we got, but it does seem like Carl's paper had taken the place of these images. Staying on the topic of Guardian, it's really nice to see they tied him back into the Temporal Wars. The Guardian talked about his former nonchalant attitude by letting people use him to the portal of the past, even if they messed things up, and how they shifted once the Temporal Wars happened, with people using him to kill others and change their timeline to the advantage they wanted. The actor Paul Gilfoy, who plays the Guardian, did it extremely well, with you even detecting the guilt he feels for letting people use him to kill so many other people. For a being who exists out of a normal space-time, factions weaponizing time and killing past, present and future people must have been traumatizing, and you can feel that from his performance. During or after the Temple Wars, to avoid this again, he moved himself to the edge of the Gamma Quadrant, far away from his original coordinates. If he can teleport others through time, relative dimensions and space, it isn't too much of a leap of logic to presume he can teleport and move himself really. Now, I need to take a moment to speak about the burn and what the USS Discovery crew were up to. Being specific, I'm of course talking about our Prime Discovery, not the Evil Mirror one, much as I like Captain Killy. The burn segment of this episode kind of felt taped on for the sake of pushing the story further. Now I say that, but it's rather hard to fit it into this episode with everything that's going on in the Mirror universe, aka Phillipa's mind. The cutaway segment back to Discovery did work well, as it occurred when Phillipa came back to the present day, aka out of the Guardian's testing mind thingy. Honestly, I don't really have the correct terminology for what exactly she was a part of, so let's just say she was in the doorway. Further developments of this plotline include Admiral Vance's conversation with Captain Saru, a conversation that sort of struck me as odd. The reason for this is that Admiral Vance seemed rather pissed off at Saru, even though as Captain Saru pointed out, he did sanction any and all means to find the information on the burn. Of course, the Admiral has the right to be concerned about the Discovery and the Federation, given what we know about the Emerald Chain and the dilithium crisis. While the scenes between him and Saru were well written, I now find myself getting the vibe that Admiral Vance has something to hide, or some sort of alternate agenda at the end of the day. Either way, it remains to be seen how this will play out. Based on the conversation between both characters, I do now think we'll be seeing a direct battle or conflict between Discovery and the Emerald Chain very soon. Book showed himself as being useful by using Emerald Chain technology, a subspace amplifier to help the crew access the internal systems of the Kelvin ship stuck in the nebula. It does actually make sense that the Emerald Chain has this technology and that the Federation doesn't, as their needs are different at this point in time. The Federation doesn't seem concerned with what happens out of their sensor range, as they have enough problems to deal with in the area they actually manage, whereas the Emerald Chain and the Couriers don't have the infrastructure of subspace relays, so it would obviously come with the equipment to help them communicate when no relays are around. It was a good use of Book's character, and his use as the Courier liaison is showing its fruit. Now finally in this episode, we do have a touching memorial for Georgiou's character. Obviously she is officially stated to have died, because I can't imagine what hot water the Discovery would get themselves into if they admitted to Admiral Vance that they used time travel to send Georgiou back. Everyone has some nice words to say, and obviously stated how much we disliked her, but still appreciate her at the end of the day. Now with Georgiou gone, I do wonder what will happen with Cronenberg's character Kovic. He was brought into the story for Phillipa's plot thread, so I wonder what he'll do now. We did get recent news that Cronenberg will continue into Season 4 of Star Trek Discovery, so hopefully they not only have a long-term plan for their character, but where the story is heading after the season, as we only have 3 episodes left of Season 3. Overall, I found this episode very enjoyable. Immediately I was kind of concerned with Part 1 and how they tie Part 2 up, as I said in last week's livestream and our speculation video, we really didn't know where this episode would go or what it was doing. Many of us feared originally that Georgiou might actually be back in time, changing the mirror universe. If so, that would have had an impact on the prime timeline we're currently in. Overall though, these 2-parter episodes did fantastic, and honestly, it was a pleasure to watch them, and hats off to Bo-Yeon Kim, Erica Lindenborg and Alec Melroy for writing such a great story. I'm now super excited for the upcoming Section 31 show, which as if you heard before, is being held by Bo-Yeon Kim and Erica Lindenborg. We've got no new information on the Section 31 series yet. It's still supposedly in development, but as that, we've had no information. Hopefully with Michelle Yeoh now leaving Star Trek Discovery, we'll get further confirmation that the Section 31 show is still in development and more additional news on that. We're just going to have to wait and see until we get more additional information. Of course, that's our weekly review for Star Trek Discovery Season 3. And we'll be back next week with Episode 11, The Citadel. Don't forget that Discovery airs weekly on Thursdays via CBS All Access and CTV Sci-Fi, then on Fridays via Netflix and Crave. If you want to keep up to date on all the latest Star Trek news, lore and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from a team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media or join our community Discord server. For now, I've been Captain Jack, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. Live long and prosper my friends.